Hello everyone, bringing you a video today looking at an element of the British Late War jungle kit, something I do like to cover on the channel when it's possible, and this is a perhaps surprising element of that kit. It's a barbers or hairdressing set. Now this was brought along by my friend Alan, who came to stay with us recently. I do have an example of the set, but it's not as nice as the one in Alan's collection, and he was coming on the train, so he asked if I wanted him to bring anything along with him, and I thought something relatively small which we could have a look at in a video would be a good idea, so picked out the hairdressing set from the Late War jungle kit. That's what we're going to have a look at in some detail now. So here it is, the set's hairdressing. Now, as mentioned, this is part of the Late War jungle equipment, and this just goes to show how comprehensive that equipment was in terms of providing for the troops' needs. It was noted that in the jungle, men would often be quite remote from logistical support, and that included hairdressing facilities, barbers, and the idea was that this would be provided to a unit barber, and these were issued or intended to be issued on a company, one per company basis, and includes everything you need to provide a basic hairdressing service, a basic barber service. We'll start on the right hand side here and have a look at the various contents. You have two hair brushes, you can see those here. One's marked on the back here, as you can see, and the other one is marked on the side. See the various, the manufacturer, the date and so forth there. And these are interesting that they're nylon bristled as opposed to having natural fibre bristles. So just interesting from that point of view. Otherwise a fairly standard set of issue hairbrushes. So they nest together and are stored in this side compartment here. You then have 6 combs and 2 pairs of scissors stored in the centre section here in these loops. I'll remove these here. So you have 3 combs on each side. This one on top is one of the original Neuroid combs. It's a comb manufacturer based up in Aberdeen, and 2 other ones just to sort of fill out the similar design of combs, just to fill out the contents there, and then another 3 of those on this side. And remove those as well. And the top one again is one of the original Neuroid examples. And then we have the 2 pairs of scissors in the centre loop here. These are both dated 1943. This one, you can see the stamp here isn't particularly clear. It's been double stamped. You can see the manufacturer there, Gill, and then just about see 1943 you can perhaps see the 1, the 9, the top of the 4 and the top of the 3, and you can see it's been double stamped. It didn't work very well first time. They've tried to stamp it again and still not made a very good job of it. So that's one of the pairs of scissors there, and the other one here is a little bit more clearly stamped. You can see that's been stamped horizontally in a similar position, again 1943, although we don't have, again made by Gill, but the top part of the stamp in this instance isn't very clear. So 2 pairs of scissors there. And then perhaps the most important part of the set is in this side. You have a boxed set of clippers, and you can see here the KF number and the designation clippers hair number 1 on the label there. And inside the box we have the clippers themselves. You can see these here, and these are held like this. You have a little protrusion here on this handle here to go between the fingers, and then hook the hook here into the thumb, and they operated in this manner. Fairly standard set of manual hair clippers, as you can see. The details of them there. And it's very important, of course, for these to be functional, that they need to be well oiled, and so oil was provided, and you have an oil bottle here. You can see, we'll bring this into focus here, 3-in-1 oil. And this has a spoon inside, similar to what you'd see with a rifle oil bottle. So you can see that there. Put that to one side as well. And just before we talk about the rest of the contents of the box, it's very important for these to be functional that they need to be kept, as I say, well oiled and not allowed to rust. So they were provided with a waterproof bag, which we have here, which is fairly similar to some of the other waterproof items which are provided as part of the Late War jungle kit, made of the same sort of rubberized cloth. See that there? It closes at the top with a set of tie tapes, as you can see there. And you can open up the collar of this a little bit. You can open up the neck of it a little bit. You can see the black rubberized finish inside there. So that's the waterproof bag for the clippers. Going back to the contents of the box, we have a spare head for the clippers wrapped in wax paper here. You can see that there. And then there is also a little instruction leaflet in the box here, which you can see. The back of this has French instructions as well, presumably just carried across from the civilian version of the clippers. but you can see the details of that here. It's a little bit damaged, but hopefully you can read the information you're interested in here. If you want to pause, obviously you can read this at your leisure. So that is the Set's Hairdressing, as I say, part of the late war jungle kit, and an interesting example of just how comprehensive that kit was in terms of the newly designed items, or items that were introduced for issue which hadn't previously been issued for use in jungle environments, and obviously intended, as mentioned before, for use in the ongoing war with Japan. And post-war, this set, although initially designed for use in the jungle, would become a GS, it would become general service in the post-war years. So there we are, Set's Hairdressing. The final thing to look at here is the maker's stamp in the main pouch of the hairdressing set. You can see that here, along with the date of manufacture of 1945. And one other final thing I'll mention here is, I understand Alan is posting a post upon the Miko Facebook page detailing a little bit more about the barber set as well. And obviously there'll be some still images on there you can have a look at and take a closer look at some of the items from the set. So that'll be linked in a pinned comment down below the video. So I do hope you found it interesting looking at this. As I've said in the video, I've always thought that the barber set, the hairdressing set, really shows just how comprehensive the late war jungle kit is in terms of providing kits suitable for use in the jungle and to deal with the specific problems arising from jungle operations as they were seen at the time. As I say, I do hope you found this interesting. If you have found it interesting and you'd like to see more from the channel, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the notification button down below. That will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you would like to support the channel, you can. Both Patreon and PayPal are linked down below. And a massive thank you as ever to everybody who supports the channel using those two methods. It's greatly appreciated, as I always say. Thank you all very much indeed. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. Facebook, Instagram and Twitter are all linked down below. And if you'd like to get in touch but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down there as well. That's everything for this video. So until next time, bye for now.